So our first speaker, Miss SallyAnn Gray, is an author of the internationally acclaimed book, The Renewal, Revive Everything Necessary, Empower Within. She's an award-winning educator with over 16 years of experience. SallyAnn is a dynamic personality and highly sought after for her ability to engage, empower, and inspire. Are you ready?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Sally, are we ready? All right, we're ready. Please help me welcome SallyAnn Gray.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? All right, I'm so excited to be here. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm experiencing extreme joy and gratitude to be on this stage. Because for me, this was all a dream. By the way, anybody know Biggie Small's song? It was all a dream? Yeah. Or sing with me now. It was all a dream. It was all a dream, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking to audiences, sharing my story, and empowering others to walk in their own purpose. But ladies and gentlemen, it took me 5 years. Somebody said 5. 5 entire years to launch my career as a professional speaker. And the reason it took me 5 long years, ladies and gentlemen, is because of fear. Ladies and gentlemen, I was fearful. I was fearful of what people would think. I was fearful of what people would say. I was fearful of being vulnerable on a stage. I was fearful of rejection. That was my biggest fear. And that rejection paradigm for me, which originated in my childhood, had me in bondage for years. Somebody say years. Years. And I'm going to share with you 2 specific incidents in my life that prevented me from walking in my God-given purpose and kept me in a state of inaction for an extremely long time. When I was 3 months old, my mother gave me away. I'm adopted, ladies and gentlemen. And when I was 11 years old, I recognized that my last name was different from the name of my parents, right around common entrance time. So I started asking questions. And my parents started unfolding to me at the age of 11 what happened. And my mother, my biological mother, she determined that she wanted to give me away for whatever reason because I still have not met her. And she packed a little baby bag with the things that she had for me. And in that bag, she also placed the birth paper that she got from the Kington Public Hospital, and she started to make her way, her journey, by walking. And she got to Lyndhurst Road. And when she got to Lyndhurst Road, she was headed to RJR to make an announcement of some sort, to see if somebody would help her with this baby. And the rain started to fall. I want you guys to picture this. The rain started to fall. Or it was raining, as my husband said, because he said if it rains, it can't fall. It's raining. And she was making her way. Raining, and this kind young man stopped his vehicle. And he said to the lady, "Ma'am, do you need help or a ride?" And to that invitation, she said yes. And she made a decision to get into the car. And when she got into the car, she started to explain her plight. And she said, "Sir, I have this baby and I can't take care of her. I have to give her away." And you know what the man said to her? He said to her, "Ma'am, you don't have to do this. My wife and I are unable to have children, and we will take the baby and care for her. And my father will tell the story that after they exchanged some particulars and she just went on her merry way, him don't know nothing about baby, you know, he's on his way about his business." And he placed me on the front seat of the passenger side and barricaded me in with the said bag and took his time, drove me home. praying that the police wouldn't stop him. I want you guys to hear this miraculous story. And when he took me home to his wife, who is my mother, she was on her knees in the said moment, praying for a baby. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know at that time what God was doing with my life. I didn't know at that time that He was creating a pathway for me to be on this very stage right now. Because without that story, without that testimony, I wouldn't have much to stand on. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why I speak so much on the power of mindset. And that's why every chance I get, I write about mindset. Like I've done in my book, The Renewal, which is on sale here today. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you see, as a little 11-year-old girl hearing that story, mash up my meds. I'm saying to myself, but I lived in a house with people that are calling mommy and daddy my entire life, and I'm not related to them. So after hearing that story and passing for St. Andrew High School for girls, and I entered high school with that messed up mindset. I wanted to hear me, ladies and gentlemen, because at that time, hearing that story in the manner that it was told to me, I did not interpret it for the miracle it was. So I viewed myself as a worthless piece of trash, because I'm saying, how could a mother just give away her child to a stranger on the side of a street? And ladies and gentlemen, I felt worthless. That worthlessness translated into my bad behavior at St. Andrew High School for girls. People, I did bad. Bad. I used to crawl underneath the back gate of St. Andrew High School on Halfway Tree Road. I crawl under it, I crawl over it. I crawl any kind of way I can get out of the school. I used to go over by Clock Tower, I used to buy lunch, and I used to do a lot of things that I can't share on this stage right now. But read between the lines, people. And ladies and gentlemen, that poor behavior had my parents, see them here, I run up and down all of Kingston. From one doctor to the next. From one therapist to the next. From one psychiatrist to the next. And you know what happened? They had to find a reason for my bad behavior. And I was diagnosed with ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. So my first blow at 11, mash up my meds, mother gave me away on the side of a street. To a man, not even a woman, that mashed me up, you know. Come here and say, normally a woman would give maybe a child to another woman, but she gave me to a strange man. And then now I got Andrews, bad like yours, and then them kicked me out. Another rejection. And I said, oh my goodness, I can't take anymore. And then I was kicked out of high school. And when I was kicked out of high school, ladies and gentlemen, something happened for me. I read a book. I read a book by Ben Carson called Gifted Hands. And the book spoke about how Ben Carson used to be a wayward teenager, much like who people said I was. And the book shifted my thinking. And with much help and intervention, I was able to change the story I had been telling myself for years, that I was a worthless piece of trash given away on the side of a street, to I was a miracle prepared and a gift to Selburn and Marjorie Sharp, who raised me like I was their own. And ladies and gentlemen, that small shift in my thinking, that small shift in the story I had been telling myself, caused me to be able to create a future for myself I could be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see how the stories we tell ourselves about our past can impact our present and prevent us from going forward in our future? So that is why I speak so much on mindset. And fair ladies and gentlemen, had me running much like the boxer in this video clip.
Is a heavy heavyweight matchup, I'm going to let you know when that man fights Efe Ajagba, do not blink. Of his 5 professional bouts, 4 of them have been done in the first round. So he likes to bring an end to opponents in quick fashion. And Curtis Hart has walked up the ring. I cannot believe it.
I've seen this before. He walked out of the ring. He's not fighting us.
He walked out of the ring.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Curtis Hart has
And the fans here in Minnesota are really upset right now because
well, Brooks still painted a picture of a portrait of destruction anyway, so he probably saw that same portrait.
Curtis Harper is on his way to the dressing room and is walking out of the ring. So I would say that is
they forfeited the match.
the end comes at 1 second of the first round for your winner by disqualification and still undefeated, Efe, the one and only Ajagba.
Easy money.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when my husband showed me this, first I laughed, and then I started to reflect. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we can laugh now, but this is what a lot of us do. That's what, well, I can speak from my own experience. That's what I did for most of my life. We're in the ring of life, and because we're going there, and we look good, and we see the obstacles, and it look too bigger than us, what we do? Take away yourself. And then, did you observe what the people on the sidelines were doing? They're not in the ring, but they have everything to say. Like, where are you going? Really? But he got in the ring. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do, you see that dream that you have? Let me see a show of hands for those of you who have a dream for yourself. Because that's why you're here. Yes? And let me see a show of hands who have not yet acted on that dream. Yeah? Alright? I want you to hold on to that dream. And anytime you think about running, I want you to remember that boxer. And I want you to remember that there are always going to be obstacles in this life. So put on your gloves and stay in the ring. Don't leave the ring. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? That is my encouragement to you this morning. I'll share another story that caused an extreme shift in my life. I had a very close girlfriend named Janet. We used to work together at Heart Trust NTA. I was a curriculum designer for the National Training Agency, and Janet was one of those friends that we went to lunch together every day. Up the hill, down the hill. Walk out to lunch, come down. And she was that particular friend that at lunch we used to talk about our dreams and our goals, ladies and gentlemen. Whole heap of talking. For 3 years we would talk. And I said, boy, John, I want the sponsor. And she said, yes, Sal, me too. Ladies and gentlemen, in year 3, Janet was diagnosed with cancer. And for the remainder of her life, for the remainder of her life, ladies and gentlemen, in the times when I would visit her on her bed of affliction, she would say, Sal, I just want to get well. I just want to get well. So I can do some of those things that we spoke about at lunch. And towards the end of her illness, my husband and I, with my son, I got an opportunity overseas and I migrated. So I was overseas teaching as a special ed teacher, but I was pregnant at the time of her funeral. Big pregnant, I was like 8.5 months. I couldn't travel. And I remember a mutual friend of ours from Heart Trust sent me a video clip from the funeral. And I was at home. It was a Saturday morning. I was laying on the bed. Tears, ladies and gentlemen, streaming to the side of my face. And I started thinking when I saw the hearse and everything, and I said, my God, Janet never got a chance to live her dreams, to accomplish some of those goals that we talked about every single day at lunch. And ladies, in that moment, and you know, as a pregnant woman, we're extra emotional. So, in that moment, I started to weep. I was terrified because it got me reflecting on my own life. And I'm saying, Sally, you have to take some action. Not tomorrow, not next week, no. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you about the power of mindset, when I talk to people about taking action, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, don't have to wait till 2019, it is coming from a very deep place. Because when I saw that hearse, I said, my God, and Janet wasn't old. And I said, I must act. I must. And I ask of each and every person sitting in this room, please take action on your lives, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a goal, take action on it. Now, alright, let us take a look at some people who didn't dream of acting. They didn't think about acting. They just took action. And it's interesting because every time I see this picture of young Barack, I think to myself, what was he thinking? He must have been saying to himself, come on, Barack. Can you imagine the negative thoughts he had to maneuver through? Your father is a black immigrant from Africa. Come on. You're not from a rich political family with any influence. Really? I imagine. But if Barack had allowed those negative thoughts to win him over, we would not know him as the world knows him today, as the 44th President of the United States of America, because he made a decision to act. Let's take, for another example, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is the founder of Amazon.com. He purchased the Washington Post, known as one of the most, if not one of the richest men and entrepreneurs today. And when I look at his young picture, I think to myself, I wonder if that Jeff had it all figured out when he started Amazon.com. You think so, ladies and gentlemen? You think he knew what he was doing? When I read his bio and when I watch his autobiography, the man started Amazon with 2 books. I was overseas the other day with my husband. We ordered 2 bed slippers for my son off of Amazon. Them sell everything from 2 books. But you know what he did? I imagine, I theorize, because I don't know him personally. But to get to that level of success, I imagine he just took the faith and belief in whatever God had placed in his heart to build the giant online retailer that it is today. And let us take our very own Usain. You know, we didn't have to put a Jamaica in it, right? Usain Bolt. And many of you may remember in 2004, Usain went to the Olympics with high hopes, you know, of bringing home the medal. And he ran in the heat and placed 5th. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine if Usain had given up on track and field then? Huh? Ladies and gentlemen, when I watch back the thing and I pre-back the thing when I was researching for this speech and I talked to my husband, the man was 0.3 of a second, and I check it back from qualifying for the next round. You hear me? You know, anybody know what 0.3 of a second is? Me when I didn't give up, I'm not telling a lie. Stress out. But Usain knew that in order to achieve the dreams that he had to conquer the sport, he had to be dedicated. He must have had to maneuver through some negative thoughts at night in his deepest, darkest moments. And I thought to myself, man. And ladies and gentlemen, you see, Usain, me rate Usain, I can tell you that. You see, if you go on Usain Instagram profile right now, there's a quote in his bio that says, anything is possible. I don't think limits. Me take that quote to heart. Okay, you see, with that mindset, Usain went on to break the 100-meter, set new record, and the rest is history. Ladies and gentlemen, I beg of you, I beseech you actually, don't give up on your dreams. Last year, this time, I just moved back to Jamaica after teaching special ed in the US for 3 years. My husband and I decided to come home. And I was here at this summit, sitting. I had just launched my professional career as a motivational speaker. Didn't have a direction, didn't have much resources. I just had a story, and I knew what God was doing with my life. And I yielded to that. And I sat in a seat somewhere off there, I believe, is that Miss Elizabeth Terry? Hey! Somewhere right off where Miss Terry is, right there. And I said, next year I'm going to be on that stage. And I know it's God put me on here. So ladies and gentlemen, I beg of you, don't take your purpose lightly. Whatever God has sent you to do here, find your work. Know the impact that you have been called to make on the planet and just do it. Ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't find a reason, you will find an excuse. Because I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the only thing that separates the former Barack from the Barack the world knows today, and the only thing that separates the former Jeff from the world, the Jeff the world knows today, and the only thing that separates the former Usain from the Usain the world knows today is the fact that they just did it. And ladies and gentlemen, please stop saying you're going to do it and just do it. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Wasn't that wonderful? Yeah. Oh, give her a round of applause. Remember your purpose. You were not brought here lightly. So think about your purpose. Time is of the essence. You can do it.